Tonight, we are pulling back the curtain on a dark chapter in Kamala Harris's past that she hoped you would never see. Remember when Harris promised to fight for Black Lives Matter? Well, it seems that some Black Lives matter more than others to our illustrious vice president. We've uncovered a shocking story of a black mother arrested and perp-walked on Harris's orders when Harris was the California Attorney General. Why? Because her sick child, missed some school days. It's not just hypocrisy. It's a travesty of justice. Now, folks, if you're dealing with pain, listen up. We've all seen the horrors of the opioid crisis, but now there's hope. World-renowned health expert Clint Winters has unveiled Conolidine, a 100% drug-free pain reliever that's taking the world by storm. It optimizes your body's natural painkillers at any age. I was skeptical, but it works. My aches and pains have just faded away, and best of all, no side effects, even after 14 years of testing. Now, click the link below to check out Clint's report on American-made Conolidine. For less than $1 a day, you can access this revolutionary product. Go to trycono.com/NNN now and see for yourself. You're days away from beating pain forever. The link's down below. Okay, so this was brought to my attention by Roger Stone, who posted a video, and we're going to play it for you now. It's about 3 minutes long. Kamala Harris arrested and perp-walked this black mother who did nothing wrong and then lied about it. Now, apparently, this is actually a full documentary at the website arrestedbykamala.com. So let's watch this together.
Public school.
I intend to fight for Black Lives Matters. I intend to fight.
If Black Lives matter to her, why didn't I matter?
Because of truancy, California public schools lose $1.4 billion a year in funding.
I want money.
I don't agree what Kamala Harris did to my mom.
So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy.
And I spent a majority of my time here at the hospital.
When Kamala Harris was the California Attorney General, she had me arrested and prosecuted because my handicapped daughter was sick in the hospital and had missed some days of school.
I have sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia is a hereditary disease, and it is very, very painful.
In 2012, like all California parents, I received a threatening letter from Kamala Harris saying we'll go to jail for a year if our kids even miss 10% of school days. Little did I know, there was a warrant out for my arrest. All of a sudden, the police is outside my house, and they started banging on the door. They told me I was under arrest for my child missing school. I was shocked. I said, but my baby is sick. The school knows that. And they said, go talk to Kamala Harris. Place your hands behind your back.
My mom did nothing wrong. We did everything we were supposed to. I was always bringing doctor's notes, always calling the school to let them know that I was in the hospital.
But my hell was just beginning. They gave me 2 charges. I spent the next 2 years in court fighting these charges. Kamala assigned her nastiest prosecutors to my case.
My homicide prosecutors, my gang prosecutors. And they went over there and I said, when you go over there, look really mean.
All the time I had to spend going to court, I was struggling to care for my shame.
We are going to make sure that you face the full force and consequences of the law.
I lost my job and couldn't pay rent, and we got evicted. I became homeless. We had to move into a motel.
And I ended up being in the hospital a lot during her trial. And in that hospital stay was when I had my stroke.
I had a stroke about 4 or 5 days ago. And right now I'm doing pretty good. My hand is doing okay, I guess.
Let's be clear, my values have not changed.
Look, I am not a political person, but I want people to know what Kamala Harris has did to me. If she do it to me, she will abuse anyone if you give her the power.
The truancy program got a lot of criticism too. Did you actually lock anybody up?
No, we never locked anybody up. We did prosecute some cases, but far few, only about 20.
My message to all Americans, especially Black Americans, do not trust Kamala Harris.
Wow. Arrestedbykamala.com. Make sure you head over there and see that. Now, some of the commentary that follows, the story cannot be ignored. Heartbreaking what Kamala does. You think this is bad? Don't wait to find out when it's too late to stop. Now, I want you to hear about this, okay? She has a history of prosecutorial corruption. Listen to this. Listen to these words that she says.
When I started that work, I learned that with the swipe of my pen, I could charge someone with the lowest level offense.
Imagine what she would do with a swipe of the pen in the Oval Office with absolute executive authority. Now, she's referring to when she was the state's attorney general.
And because of the swipe of my pen, that person could be arrested. They could sit in jail for at least 48 hours. They could lose time from work and their family maybe lose their job. They'd have to come out of their own pocket to help hire a lawyer. They'd lose standing in their community.
God.
All because of the swipe of my pen. Weeks later, I could dismiss the charges, but their life would forever be changed. So I learned at a very young age the power when I started that work.
The power that she has. Oh, remember, her values haven't changed, my friends. Her values have not changed. Here is Winter Rewind, bringing up this point. Listen to this. Kamala has repeatedly proclaimed that she's a champion of fighting prosecutorial misconduct, but her history has proven opposite.
That history.
America has a deep and dark history of people using the power of the prosecutor as an instrument of injustice. I knew this history well, of innocent men framed, of prosecutors hiding information that would exonerate defendants.
Yes. And during her time as California's top cop, Harris contributed to that history repeatedly by going to bat on behalf of dirty prosecutors. Her office appealed the dismissal of a case in which a prosecutor had fabricated a confession to secure a conviction and fought an appeal in a case where a prosecutor had lied to the jury during trial. In 2015, Harris tried to stop the removal of the Orange County District Attorney's Office from a murder trial after it repeatedly failed to turn over evidence to the defense. Her office even tried to keep a man in jail who had been wrongfully incarcerated for 13 years after a judge ruled that he had proven himself innocent just because the man hadn't delivered that proof quite fast enough. And as San Francisco DA, Harris hid known misconduct by a crime lab technician who admitted to deliberately tainting evidence.
Did prosecutors working under you know about the concerns about that lab?
The prosecutors
which is what the judge alleged.
Did not know about it, at least said they did not know about it.
The debacle has since led to the dismissal of hundreds of criminal cases.
Imagine what she would do in the Oval Office. Huffington Post actually covered the story of this woman, of Kamala Harris's war on truancy. We can dig into this. Huffington Post, the progressive prosecutor wanted to transform how California responded to students missing school. Parents like Cheree Peoples wound up paying the price. That is the woman who you saw the interview. On the morning of April 18th, 2013, the Los Angeles suburb of Buena Park, a throng of photographers positioned themselves on a street curb and watched as two police officers entered a squat townhouse. Minutes later, cameras began clicking. The officers had reemerged with a weary-looking woman in pajamas and handcuffs, and the photographers were jostling to capture every step. She says, "You would swear I had killed somebody." That's what Cheree Peoples said in a recent interview. In fact, Peoples had been arrested for her daughter's spotty school attendance record under a truancy law that then California Attorney General Kamala Harris had personally championed in the state legislature. The law, enacted January 2011, made it a criminal misdemeanor for parents to allow kids in kindergarten through 8th grade to miss more than 10% of school days without a valid excuse. Well, she had a valid excuse. Her daughter had sickle cell. This law was the capstone of Harris's years-long campaign to get tough on truancy. Huffington Post actually covering this. Now, let me remind you the words of General Michael Flynn just 24 hours ago. We have 47 days left to save this republic.
In reality, America, there are opposing forces fighting against our ideals of freedom, and you need to understand the sobering reality that evil exists. This fight is not Democrats versus Republicans. It's about good versus evil. And the time has come for every single American patriot to now rise to the occasion at this moment and get involved. In the DNA of every American is something called freedom. And the enemy that we face cannot extinguish that flame of freedom that burns inside every single one of us. In fact, the greater the heat, the stronger that flame burns. So we must continue to fight, not because we hate our enemy, but because we love our country. That's why we fight. And the most important right is our right to vote. So to make America great again, we need to make America vote again. I'm General Mike Flynn, and during this historically consequential presidential election, we must exercise our right to vote. President Lincoln said, "Elections belong to the people." The most important right we need to exercise right now is our right to vote. It is the power that we hold over a corrupt government. And this time around, for these elections, every American will be far more alert to those attempting to undermine our elections. So get involved, pay attention, let's protect our vote. As John F. Kennedy once said, "The ignorance of one voter in a democracy impairs the security of all." So let's make America great again by making America vote again. This is local action at its finest. Get out and exercise your right to vote.
Friends, we need to go out and vote because we do not want this woman to have the power.
When I started that work,
pen.
I learned that with the swipe of my pen, I could charge someone with the lowest level offense. And because of the swipe of my pen, that person could be arrested. They could sit in jail for at least 48 hours. They could lose time from work and their family maybe lose their job. They'd have to come out of their own pocket to help hire a lawyer. They'd lose standing in their community. All because of the swipe of my pen. Weeks later, I could dismiss the charges.
Weeks later, I could dismiss the charges after the damage has been done. We cannot let this woman get into the Oval Office, and that is why we need to get out and vote. Arrested by Kamala, see the full interview with Cheree and learn what the true cost is. So there you have it, America. While Kamala Harris talks about justice and equality, her past actions tell a very different story. A mother struggling with a sick child arrested and prosecuted under Harris's watch. Is this the kind of justice we can expect from a Harris administration? A system where being poor and black is treated like a crime? So here's what I want to know from you. Does this revelation change your view of Kamala Harris? And more importantly, can we trust her to lead our nation? Let us know in the comments below.